This is your host, Danny, and this is Dan RPG from English Plus Podcast. Today we're going to continue our Fallout 4 series, and today is episode 4, The Memories of an Assassin. Last time, the hero killed Kellogg, the one who killed his wife and kidnapped his son, and he learned about the whereabouts of his son. But the problem is that he didn't learn where the Institute is or how to get into the Institute from Kellogg before he killed him. And that is a problem now. So the story will continue from here, and in this episode, we will explore something weird and surreal, and that is getting into the memories of that assassin, the memories of Kellogg. So, you're interested? Let's dive in more in the story of Fallout 4, but let me remind you that there is a link in the description of the episode that will take you to my website, EnglishPlusPodcast.com, where you can get not only to listen to this episode, you can get to see it as well. So if you would like to see what is happening in this story, there is a video, of course, and the video is available on my website. And there's also the comprehension check, because remember, this is English Plus, so after all, there must be something to practice your listening, your comprehension in English, besides the entertainment that you can get from those stories that come from games. And don't forget about the other important link that will take you to my Patreon page. Support me, support our learning community, help us become self-sufficient and independent. Well, the first milestone we have is 50 patrons by the end of the year. I hope we get there just to break even and to be able to continue, and then we will set another milestone to get our freedom, to become fully independent. So I hope you feel generous enough to support me and support this learning community. Please take the link in the description. It will take you to my Patreon page where you can contribute as much as you want. And now, without further ado, let's start with Fallout 4, Episode 4, The Memories of an Assassin. So I got carried away and killed Kellogg before learning from him where the Institute is. All I know now is that Sean is there, and no matter what it takes, I will find my way in this Institute. Nick suggested talking to Piper, who's been investigating the Institute for a while. Who knows? Maybe she has some information that can lead us to someone who may help us. Nick and I headed to Diamond City to talk to Piper. Maybe we can find some answers there.
Well, Nikki Valentine walks into my office for a change.
What can I say, Piper? You, me, and hard luck all seem to run together like acid rain down an old sewer.
You, including your client here in that analogy? So, you two are finally letting me in on this little case of yours. What's the story?
Where do you want me to start? The part where Kellogg turned out to be working for the Institute? Or the part where he told me they have Sean?
The Institute. Oh boy. I've been investigating these creeps for over a year now. The Commonwealth's boogeyman. Feared and hated by everyone.
True enough.
Sometimes they snatch people in the middle of the night, and sometimes they leave old synths behind to remind us that they're out there, but to this day, there's one thing nobody really knows.
Where the Institute actually is. Or how to get in.
Exactly. But there's one person who has to know, right? The guy who just handed them Sean.
Kellogg. Huh.
What about him?
He had to have a way in and out. But, well, we both know that angle is cut off.
Yeah. Any other ideas, Nick?
Talk about a literal dead end, huh?
So, a murderer and a kidnapper gets his brains blown out by an avenging parent. Huh. Be a great ending if we didn't still have the biggest mystery in the Commonwealth to solve.
So, what now?
Gets his brains blown out. Huh. His brains. You know, we may not need the man at all.
You're talking crazy here, Nick. Got a fault in the old subroutines?
Look, there's a place in Good Neighbor called the Memory Den. Relive the past moments in your mind as clear as the day they happened. If anyone could get a dead brain to sing, it'll be Dr. Amari, the mind behind the memories.
Who's this Dr. Amari?
I'll let her give you her life story in person. Let's stay focused. Guess we're gonna need a piece of Kellogg's brain. Enough gray matter to bring to Amari and find out if this is going to work.
Jesus, Nick. Gross. Seriously?
I know it's grisly, but what choice do we have? We got no leads, nothing. That old Merc's brain just might have all the secrets we need to know.
What exactly do we need, Nick?
Kellogg's brain. It's a long shot, but Dr. Amari just might be able to get it jump-started. See what the old Merc knew.
Actually, I think I already have something. Kellogg had this thing attached to his head.
Cybernetics, huh? We may have just won the lottery.
Whether we're riding this crazy brain train or not, we can't all go running across the Commonwealth, so who's coming with you?
I have to go to the memory den either way, if I'm going to introduce you to Amari. But if you want to head there together, just say so.
Anything else you can tell me about the memory den?
It's in Good Neighbor, a little slice of trouble northeast a ways. The memory den ain't just a fancy name, it's literal. A lot of people give up all their caps just to relive the good parts of their lives. Over and over. But not us. We're gonna try to dive deep into someone else's mind. I can meet you there, or we can head out together.
It's you and me, Nick.
Let's get going. Don't worry. We're gonna get your boy back. Just a few more steps.
While you two are out, I'm gonna do some more research. I'll be here if you need me. And by the way, at some point, you owe me an interview. I want to hear how this whole story got started.
Even good people do crazy things when they're scared.
So, Dr. Amari may help us retrieve some memories from the mind of that assassin. Maybe that will show us a way into the Institute. It is a long shot. I only have a piece of Kellogg's brain. Well, it's actually some weird cybernetics piece. I don't know if that will help, but Nick thinks it is useful. So we headed to Good Neighbor, which something tells me that it does not live up to its name. But I'm used to all good neighbors in this godforsaken wasteland. Maybe all of this is a waste of time, but what would a father do if he knew there was but a slight chance to see his son again? I would go see Dr. Amari. I would go see the devil himself if need be. I just hope we get some lead. Something that may show us the way into this mysterious boogeyman of the Commonwealth. We arrived at Good Neighbor, and as I expected, there was no great hospitality to be expected in there. My guns were always ready, but I learned to avoid a fight if I don't have to. And to my shame, most of the time I do it just to save ammo, not life. Shame on me.
Dr. Amari?
Yes? I take it this isn't a social call.
This one's all yours, Nick.
We need a memory dig, Amari, but it's not going to be easy. The perp, Kellogg, is already cold on the floor.
Are you two mad? Putting aside the fact that you're asking me to defile a corpse, you do realize that the memory simulators require intact, living brains to function.
Isn't there some way to make this work?
This dead brain had inside knowledge of the Institute, Amari. The biggest scientific secret of the Commonwealth. You need this, and so do we.
Fine. I'll take a look. But no guarantees. Do you have it with you?
How much of the brain do you need exactly?
That is not an encouraging question. I suppose I'll have to make do with whatever you can find.
Here's what I could find.
What's this? This isn't a brain. This is... Wait. That's the hippocampus. And this thing attached to it? A neural interface?
Those circuits look awfully familiar.
I'm not surprised. From what I've seen, all Institute technology has a similar architecture.
So the brain is still good, right?
Possibly. There's no sign of decay, so the tech is probably preserving the tissue, injecting some kind of compound to keep it stable. But there's no way to access the memories inside without a compatible port.
You're talking about me, right? I'm an old synth. If the Institute built me out of similar parts, we might have an in.
There could be long-term side effects. I don't know where to even begin with listing the risks.
Don't bother. I don't need to hear them. Plug me in, Doc.
I appreciate this, Nick.
You can thank me when we've found your son. All right, let's do this.
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Valentine, just sit down.
If I start cackling like an old grizzled mercenary, pull me out, okay?
Let's see here. I need you to keep talking to me, Mr. Valentine. Any slight change in your cognitive functions could be dire. Are you feeling any different?
There's a lot of flashes. Static. I can't make sense of any of it, Doc.
That's what I was afraid of. The mnemonic impressions are encoded. It appears the Institute has one last failsafe. There's a lock on the memories in the implant.
How do you lock memories?
The implant is encoding all the mnemonic activity in the hippocampus. Think of it like computer encryption, and we don't have the password. Let's see. A single mind wouldn't be able to crack it. But what if we use two? We load both you and Mr. Valentine into the memory loungers. Run your cognitive functions in parallel. He'll act as a host, while your consciousness drives through whatever memories we can find.
Any idea what I'm going to see in there?
I have no clue. But considering we only have a single piece of the medial temporal lobe and not the whole brain, I doubt it'll be cohesive.
All right. Let's get started.
Just sit down over there and keep your fingers crossed.
See you on the other side.
So now I'm going to explore the memories of an assassin. The assassin that killed my wife and abducted my child.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Looking to enhance your English skills while exploring a world of knowledge? Then English Plus Podcast website is just for you. Dive into diverse topics ranging from science to literature, history to business, and myths to modern insights. Each episode from our podcast or article from our magazine is a journey of learning and discovery, designed to not only improve your language skills, but also broaden your understanding of the world. Join us at English Plus Podcast, where language meets limitless learning. Tune in today and take your English to the next level. Visit EnglishPlusPodcast.com to start your journey. English Plus Podcast, language, learning, enlightenment. Never stop learning with English Plus.
Initiating brainwave migration between the transplant and the host. Mnemonic activity coming from the transplant. It's degenerated, but it's there. We're going to load you into the strongest memories we can find. They might not be stable. Just hold on. Can you hear me? Ah, good. The simulation appears to be working, although the memories are quite fragmentary. I'll try to step you through the intact memories and hope we find one that gives us some clue to the Institute's location. There. This is the earliest intact memory I can find.
Turn down the goddamn radio! I'm trying to sleep!
California Republic. All 5 states have now...
Remember, you are
Mom knew how it
experiencing
was.
these memories as Kellogg.
She wasn't
This
soft,
may prove
but
disorienting at first.
she loved me in her way. And she protected me from Dad. That cost her more than a few beatings. I never knew what happened to her after I left. I didn't want to know. Not then.
means that as of this moment,
I was such a dummy back then. What did I know about how the world worked? I think now she wanted me to kill him. I should have. Instead, I ended up running away. I told myself I wanted to find somewhere out from under the thumb of the NCR and all their rules. But really, I was running from the guilt of not protecting her from Dad. Yeah, it doesn't matter now, though. Dad was either drunk or not around. I guess he must have run with one of the raider gangs, but I never really knew what he did. Don't know why Mom was with him. Maybe at some point in his life he wasn't a complete asshole.
California Republic. I'm sure that's going to take some getting used to for a lot of them.
What a joke.
Waiting for this day.
What's it mean, Mom? Nothing, Connie. People like to talk and hope someone else is going to keep them safe.
Quite a party.
Teacher at school said the NCR would bring back the good old days, like before the big war.
Don't you listen to that twaddle. I'm going to stop singing you if that's what they're teaching you.
I'm going out. Where the fuck did you put my boots?
Quite a historic day.
Listen to me, Connie.
Remember, it was only
You take this.
that President
You're
Aragon
old enough.
first proposed the idea
You're the man of the family now. It's your job to protect us. Your father's useless, but you won't turn out like him. You're a good boy. And all that on the radio. All useless talk. The only thing that will protect you in this world is that gun in your hands. You need to learn to use it if you're going to survive.
I will, Mom. I promise. I won't let you down.
You've always been my good boy.
This doesn't seem to be what we're looking for. There appears to be another intact memory close to you in temporal sequence. There. Try that one.
The thing about happiness is you only know you had it when it's gone. I mean, you may think to yourself that you're happy, but you don't really believe it. Focus on the petty bullshit or next job or whatever. It's only looking back, by comparison with what comes after, that you really understand that's what happiness felt like. I was the worst thing that ever happened to her. If she'd never met me, she'd have stayed in the hub, maybe hooked up with someone who didn't kill people for a living. Probably been happier than she was with me. Almost certainly lived longer. It's gonna be fine. You'll see.
But we don't know anybody here. And now, with the baby?
Come on, Sarah, you've got to give it a chance. I finally got steady work with a good outfit. Nothing like that in the NCR these days.
No, I'm not saying this was a mistake. I'm just... Are you sure these guys know what they're doing? They seem kind of green.
I know, but that's where I come in. Just wait. In a few years, I'll be running my own crew. As soon as I make the connections I need. Then I can give you anything you want. And little Mary, too.
I never worried about you before. Must be my mama instincts kicking in. Who knew I had those, huh?
Come on, you're great with her. And you don't need to worry about me. Most of it's just running security for the she. A lot of standing around looking tough.
Well, they sure picked the right person for that job.
Listen, it's gonna be great here. See this? This is what's gonna keep you and Mary safe. I promise.
I know, Connie. I'm sure we're gonna be really happy here.
We are. You'll see. That's okay. I got her. Whatever made me think that a guy like me should have a daughter? No, I never deserved her. Not for 1 second.
Let's keep looking. I'll connect you to the next intact memory.
How did you think this was gonna end, Kellogg? You thought you could just fuck with us, and we wouldn't fuck with you? Just so you know, they died like dogs. And you weren't there to help them.
I found another memory to try. I'll connect you.
Mind if we sit down?
Suit yourself.
So, I hear you'll take care of people's problems. Is that right?
If you pay me.
Oh, we'll pay you.
And you'll do this all by yourself?
That's right.
We pay you when the job's done. Is that okay?
That's the way you want to do it? So who do you want dead?
Well, it's like this. There's his family. Lives down the creek a ways.
Well, we seem to be getting closer. Try this next one.
Mr. Kellogg, I'm glad you decided to meet with me.
So, you're with the Institute. I wanted to see for myself if you really existed.
We do, as you can see.
What do you want?
It's come to my attention that you've been rather disruptive of our operations lately. This must stop.
I do what people pay me to do. If that's a problem for you, I could see only one way out.
And what's that, Mr. Kellogg?
If I'm working for you, there's no more problem. From what I hear, you can afford me.
I don't think you fully understand the situation you're in.
I think I do.
Very well. B-748, initiate. Impressive. We may have something to talk about after all.
Getting warmer. One of these has got to tell us something. We're running out of brain here. There's one that looks mostly intact. Connecting now.
Manual override initiated. Cryogenic stasis suspended.
Vault computers are still working. That's good. Checking through the logs. Hopefully it's all...
Just find it.
Pod C6. Down the hall near the end.
The eggheads never liked taking orders from a dirty, contaminated degenerate like me. But they needed me. And I made sure they knew it. The eggheads never liked taking orders from a dirty, contaminated degenerate like me. But they needed me. And I made sure they knew it. I was now the Institute's main operator in the Commonwealth. If they needed something done, they came to me. It wasn't usual for anybody from the Institute to come along on a mission, so this one stood out. I didn't know then who it was we were grabbing from the vault. Of course, neither did they. Not really. I'm glad I didn't have to kill the kid. I'm not saying I haven't done it, but I never liked to. And yeah, I guess it did remind me of her. Yeah, I'm a cold-hearted bastard for sure, but still human. Better this way, though. Better than taking her kid and leaving her alive. Even then, I knew it was a mistake leaving him alive. I understood that kind of revenge. No one better. But I was cocky enough to assume I could handle some soft, pre-war vault dweller, even if he somehow got thawed out. At least I know those Institute bastards will soon get what's coming to them, too. If he could take me out, they won't be able to hide from him for long.
This is the one. Here.
Open it.
Is it over? Are we okay?
Almost. Everything's going to be fine.
Come here. Come here.
Wait. No. I've got him.
Let the boy go. I'm only going to tell you once.
I'm not giving you Sean!
God damn it. Get the kid out of here and let's go. At least we still have a backup.
Cryogenic sequence reinitialized.
What's the holdup?
I'm almost finished, Kellogg. I just need to confirm. Come on. All right, we're good.
I'm sorry you had to go through that again. I found another intact memory. Whenever you're ready. Is that your son? This appears to be a very recent memory, so good news, I think.
Wasn't my idea to settle down with the kid in the middle of Diamond City. I thought it was a terrible idea, actually. But it was one of the old man's pet projects, so here we were. Me and the kid. Like a happy little family. I ended up kind of liking it. A reminder of what my life might have been if things had turned out differently. But there's no going back. I knew it was just temporary. It'd be back to normal business before too long. This whole setup in Diamond City was part of some elaborate plan of the old man's. Seems obvious now that we were bait for our friend from the vault. Timing couldn't have been an accident. It's not how the old man works. I wonder if he outsmarted me in the end. Another loose end tied up.
Kellogg.
It's okay. One of these days you're gonna get your head blown off just barging in here like that.
Minimizing my exposure to civilians is a priority.
Forget I said anything. So what's the big crisis this time?
New orders for you. One of our scientists has left the Institute.
Left? As in?
He's gone rogue. Name's Dr. Brian Virgil. We know he's hiding somewhere in the glowing sea. Here's his file.
Wow. Some heads are gonna roll for this. The new breed of synths could easily pass as human. Some of them did. But the coursers, they weren't built to blend in. They were killing machines, pure and simple. Smarter, Stronger and faster than almost any real human. I'm just glad they were always on my side. Capture and return, or just elimination?
Elimination. He was working on a highly classified program.
No kidding. One of the top bioscience boys? Damn. So, I guess you're taking the kid back with you.
Affirmative. Your only mission is to locate and eliminate Virgil.
You're taking me home to my father?
Yes. Stand next to me and hold still.
Okay.
X688. Ready to relay with Sean.
Bye, Mr. Kellogg. I hope I see you again soon.
Bye.
Teleportation. Now it all makes sense. Nobody's found the entrance to the Institute because there is no entrance. Let me pull you out of there as soon as you're ready. Slow movements, okay? I don't know what kind of side effects the procedure might have had. No one's ever done this before. How do you feel?
I have this burning feeling inside my skull. It's like it's on fire.
That's not surprising. All the synapses in your brain have just been pulled apart, connected to someone else, and then pulled back together. I injected you with a large stim pack while I was pulling you out. That should ease things. Are you ready to talk about what happened in there?
There's more than one person who knows about the Institute. Virgil, that scientist who escaped.
I didn't know Institute scientists could defect. This changes everything. He could answer all sorts of questions. Where did the memory say he was? The glowing sea? That can't be right. No one would risk going there, not even to hide.
Why? What makes the glowing sea so dangerous?
The name says it all. Radiation. So much that nothing there could possibly live. Nothing pleasant. Navigating radioactive hazards is nothing new. But the glowing sea can kill a man in seconds. That's why it doesn't make sense. Virgil fleeing into that hell. The exposure alone.
That's why he's there. To make the Institute think twice about following him.
That must be it. He's using the radiation in the glowing sea like a shield or a cloak, a way to throw them off and be at an advantage. If Virgil found a way to survive there, you'll have to do the same. If you're going to follow him.
How do I fight that much radiation, Doctor?
There are chemical compounds. Rad-X, Radaway. You'd need as much as you could carry. Maybe more. A sealed environment suit would be great, if you could find one. Or maybe one of those suits of power armor? That would be perfect.
I'll find a way to get through the rads. Don't worry.
Good luck. And be safe. By the way, I unplugged Mr. Valentine first. Removed the implant while you were waking up. He's waiting for you upstairs.
Nick.
Hope you got what you were looking for inside my head. I was right. I should have killed you when you were on ice.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
You feeling all right, Nick?
Yeah, I'm fine. Why?
You sounded like Kellogg just then.
Did I? Huh. Mari said there might be some mnemonic impressions left over. Anyway, I feel fine, so let's get going.
We have to head into the glowing sea. Any advice?
I'm a synth, so radiation isn't much of an issue for me, but an old suit of power armor might just be the guardian angel you're looking for. That, or you could buy up all the Rad-X and Radaway you can find from any chem dealer who's got it in stock.
I'm gonna head out on my own from here, Nick.
Good luck out there. You know where to find me.
I have never forgotten that fateful day in Vault 111, but to see it back from the perspective of that psychopath was just surreal. Although the memories were so painful for me, I could see some painful memories from Kellogg's life himself. I'm not trying to sympathize with Kellogg, but I'm definitely judging him less. Would I have done the same if I had been in his position? Would I have become a cold-blooded murderer? Maybe not. I have been through a tragedy myself, and I haven't become Kellogg. Or have I? How many people have I killed so far to get to my son? I don't know if this memory thing is playing tricks on my mind, but I know for sure that this boundary between right and wrong hasn't been hazier. Sometimes, I feel that I can't see it anymore. Well, we haven't exactly learned how to get into the Institute, but at least we learned a couple of things that may help us. First, they use teleportation, and that's why no one really knows where the Institute is or how to get into it, because it simply doesn't have a door with a sign that reads "Welcome to the Institute." It is hidden somewhere, and the only way to get in is to hack their teleportation technology. We have also learned of this scientist who escaped from the Institute. His name is Virgil. I am going to see him to find out if he knows anything about this teleportation technology. But the problem is where he chose to hide in the Commonwealth. It's called the Glowing Sea, and it's been called that for a good reason. The place is still highly radiated. I have adapted to withstand radiation at low levels, as it exists almost everywhere in the Commonwealth. But I don't think I can survive the radiation in the Glowing Sea. Fortunately, I have been building this power armor for some time, and now it comes in handy. It can protect me from the radiation there. I didn't want to take Nick with me this time, although radiation is not a problem for him, because hearing Kellogg speaking through Nick kind of freaked me out. He just needs some time to get back to normal, I guess. Well, the Glowing Sea is such a place. Highly radiated creatures stronger than their kin you can find in other places in the Commonwealth. And there were some new creatures too, but none of these creatures really shocked me as much as those I found deep within the Glowing Sea, a cult of sorts, worshipping Adam. They believe Adam is a god. With all the insanity I have seen in the Commonwealth since I woke up in Vault 111, only humans can think of such a stupid idea. I mean, worshipping Adam? Are you serious, guys? But I needed information from them. I just want to know where Virgil is, and I will leave them to their madness.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Unlock the marvels of mycology and take a journey of deep discovery into the divine. LordofSpore.com has 21 unique varieties of magic mushroom spores that will open doors you never knew existed. From the shamanic rituals of 10,000-year-old tribes, to Plato, Socrates, the Dionysian mysteries, and even early Christianity, entheogens have been the key to unlocking the secrets of the infinite realm that we are all part of, offering us mere mortals a glimpse into the sacred meaning of everything we see, and everything we don't. Join us on our journey. It starts with a few microscopic mushroom spores, and it grows into a network across time and space, connecting us all to infinity and beyond.
Stop right there, stranger. You approach Atom's holy ground. Why? State your purpose or be divided in his sight.
Holy ground? Atom? What's going on here?
Atom reached out and touched this world, bringing his glow to us. It remains to this day a reminder of his promise. Infinite worlds through division.
I'm looking for someone named Virgil.
Virgil? Yes, we know this Virgil. What do you want with him?
I just need some information from him.
I see. In truth, this Virgil has caused some concern. Some believe his presence is an affront to Atom. Though he came to trade with us on a few occasions, we have had little other contact with him. It was quite clear he wanted to be left alone. You can find him southwest of the crater, living in a cave. I would approach cautiously were I you. I feel he does not want visitors.
Hold it. Take it nice and slow. No sudden moves. I know you're from the Institute. So where's Kellogg, huh? Trying to sneak up on me while you distract me? It's not going to work. I'm not stupid. I knew they'd send him after me.
Are you Virgil?
You know damn well I am. What are you doing here?
You have information I need.
And yet I have no idea who the hell you are. I think we'd both better start explaining. You start.
I'm just a guy looking for information on the Institute.
The Institute? So, they did send you, didn't they? You're working with Kellogg.
Why are you so afraid of Kellogg?
Do you have any idea what that man has done? What the Institute pays him to do? It's all off-the-books stuff. The man is a killer, and he's very good at what he does.
But Kellogg's been taken care of.
Dead. He's dead. Don't you lie to me.
He's dead, whether you believe me or not.
There's no question it's difficult to believe. Kellogg was ruthless. There's a reason the Institute used him to do their dirty work for so many years. I knew they'd send him after me. Tried to prepare for it. But I still wasn't sure I'd make it. And so you killed him, eh? Then what do you want with me?
Why did you leave the Institute? I know you came from there.
You know about the escape? But how? No, it doesn't matter. I'm not going back. I can't go back. Look at me. Why are you even here? What do you want?
Relax. I just need to know how to get in there.
Wait, what? Are you serious? You want to get into the Institute? Are you insane? Never mind how nearly impossible that is. Even if you were to succeed, it'd almost certainly end in your immediate death. What reason could you possibly have for taking that kind of risk?
I'm trying to find my son. The Institute kidnapped him.
Oh no. I had no idea. I'm sorry. Yeah. The Institute has taken people from the Commonwealth in the past. If your son is one of them, I can understand why you'd want to get in there. I can help, but I'm going to need something in return.
What do you want from me?
Before I had to escape, I was working on a serum that would serve as a cure for my condition. I wasn't able to bring it with me. It's still in my lab and, well, look at me. I need it. I need you to find it for me if you manage to get inside the Institute. What do you say?
You help me and I'll help you.
All right. Let's talk details. First things first. You know how synths get in and out of the Institute?
Yeah, they use some sort of teleporter.
Well. Not many know about it. Pretty closely guarded secret. You've certainly done your homework. It's commonly referred to as the molecular relay. I don't understand all the science behind it, but it works. Dematerializes you in one place, rematerializes you in another. I'm sure it sounds crazy, but it's a reality. The relay is the only way in and out of the Institute. You understand? The only one. That means you're going to have to use it. Now, have you ever seen an Institute Courser?
No, never heard of him.
Another secret of the Institute. Trust me, it's good that you haven't found out the hard way. Coursers are Institute synths, designed for one purpose. They're hunters. Operations go wrong, a synth goes missing, and a Courser is dispatched. They're very good at what they do, and you're going to have to kill one.
Why do I have to kill one?
Because you want to get into the Institute, remember? They're your ticket in. Every Courser has special hardware that gives them a direct connection to the relay in the Institute. It's embedded in a chip in their heads. You need that chip, but to get it, you'll have to find a Courser. Now, I don't know exactly where you can find one. They haven't sent any after me, and sitting here waiting doesn't seem like a good plan. You're going to have to hunt one down. I can tell you where to start and give you some help finding one, but you'll have to do the dirty work.
What do I need to do?
Listen up. The primary insertion point for Coursers is in the ruins of CIT, directly above the Institute. So you'll want to head there. Now, the relay causes some pretty heavy interference all across the EM spectrum. You've got a radio on that Pip-Boy, right? When you get to the ruins, tune it to the lower end of the band and listen in. you'll be able to hear the interference. Follow the signal, and it'll lead you to a courser. Then, you just have to not get killed. Not gonna lie, the odds aren't in your favor here. But if you do make it, remember what I said about the serum. I need it badly. I really do hope you find what you're looking for. Using a stealth boy.
So Virgil is obviously a super mutant. Well, this is the first super mutant I see who hasn't tried to kill me at first sight. Well, Virgil seems to be reasonable and clever. He does not know exactly how to hack the Institute's teleportation technology, but at least he knows what needs to be done. He told me I have to kill a Courser. Well, that would be my first Courser to kill, but it seems that these Coursers are the Institute's secret mega weapon. Not like the synths I killed when I went after Kellogg. Coursers look like human beings. They are killing machines which are much faster and stronger than humans and regular synths combined. I guess I'm in for a big fight, but that doesn't scare me. It can't be worse than what I have seen in the Commonwealth so far. I have to be extra careful. Well, the trick is to find that Courser. And here is when Virgil was really handy. He told me I could track the Courser using radio frequencies, and he also told me where to look. So I went there and followed the signal that got stronger and stronger until I got to that abandoned building. But when I went in, it seemed that I was not the only one attacking that Courser. I wish I could say that I was able to ally with those inside to kill the Courser together, but they started shooting at me, so once again I had to kill my way through to get to that Courser.
The Courser's on the second floor. Kill on sight. Send reinforcements to the lobby in case there are more.
That Courser was not easy to kill, but after killing it, I thought to myself, if they call that Courser a killing machine, what would that make me? Interesting, huh? Maybe I was becoming something even worse, I don't know. But now that I have killed the Courser, I went straight back to Dr. Amari with that Courser chip I retrieved. I hoped she would have answers for me.
You're back. The glowing sea. Virgil. What happened?
Do you know anything about decoding Courser chips?
A Courser chip? You fought a Courser? Oh my god. Unfortunately, I can't help you. I've worked on a lot of synths, but never a Courser. I don't know what that chip does, let alone how to decode it. But there are people who might. I work with a group that, well, they're the only ones I know that even have a chance at cracking Institute security. They're called the Railroad.
The Railroad?
They help synths escape the Institute. I don't know who they all are. Usually an agent of theirs just shows up with someone who needs new memories. One of them gave me a code phrase, said it would help me find them if there was ever an emergency. Follow the Freedom Trail.
Any idea what the code phrase means?
I'm not sure, but I remember there was a pre-war landmark with a similar name. I'd start there. Hopefully they've placed other clues to tell you where to go after that, hidden somewhere in plain sight. That's how they think.
All right. I'll find them.
Good luck. I'm sorry what I have is so cryptic, but hopefully you can figure things out as you go.
Well, it seems that Dr. Amari was better at hacking human brains, but for those robotic brains, I needed to meet with the Railroad. Huh, just like what we read in history. But back then, they were freeing slaves, and it was a righteous thing to do. Who are they freeing now? Synths? Why? Do we need more of these in the Commonwealth? But I needed their help, and I was not going to even start judging them. There was a robot in the middle of Boston Square talking about this Freedom Trail, and it seems that all I needed to do was just follow this trail. Easy.
Welcome, Patriot, to Boston Common, the start of the Freedom Trail. Feast your ears.
Tell me about the Freedom Trail.
Starting here at Boston Common, follow the red path as it winds its way through our great city's streets. Markers on the trail are placed at many famous historic sites. See Paul Revere's house, the Old North Church, the Old State House, Bunker Hill, and many more.
Well, the trail is kind of easy to follow, but it was in the middle of conflict zones, so I had to kill whomever I saw on my way, and I was about to lose the trail a couple of times because of these fights on the way, but I managed to stay on that trail. An interesting thing I found on the markers was letters and numbers. I don't know if these will be useful in any way, but I thought I was going to find out a great secret or something, but it just spelled the word railroad. Well, I already know that one. I don't know why they went to a lot of trouble scattering it like a secret password or something on those markers. But anyway, the trail ended in an abandoned church, Old North Church. I went inside, and I know that only unholy things haunt once holy places. And I saw those ghouls as soon as I stepped in. Ghouls are not the most difficult to kill, but still, they were the ones that I was afraid of the most in the Commonwealth. I killed bigger, stronger, and more frightening creatures, but I have never been frightened of anything more than ghouls.
The trail ends right at the church.
So, a lock and a riddle. Could it be that simple? I just dial in that password, railroad, and the door would open? Well, all the letters I need are there. Maybe that's what those markers were all about.
It spins.
Stop right there. You went through a lot of effort to arrange this meeting. But before we go any further, answer my questions. Who the hell are you?
Why don't you tell me who you are first?
In a world full of suspicion, treachery, and hunters, we're the synth's only friends. We're the Railroad. So answer my question.
I followed the Freedom Trail looking for the railroad. I'm not your enemy.
If that's true, you have nothing to fear. Who told you how to contact us?
Dr. Amari told me how to find you.
Very interesting. Last question. Why are you here?
I tracked down and killed a courser at Green Tech Genetics. Now I need help breaking the code on his courser chip.
You have what? This is not a joking matter.
I didn't know we were having a party. What gives with my invitation? Oh, I see you invited the Courser Killer. Nice.
Deacon, you're late. You're saying this intruder actually killed a Courser? Single-handedly? Oh, that'd give even Gloria a run for her money.
Newsflash, boss. This guy is kind of a big deal. If you're done interrogating him, you might want to show this Courser murdering machine a little courtesy, Just a thought.
I owe you an apology. Anyone who kills a Courser is good in my book. I'm Desdemona, and I'm the leader of the Railroad.
Who are you people exactly?
In a world full of suspicion, treachery, and hunters, we're the synth's only friend.
Des, we need to let him in. He's got an intact Courser chip, for God's sake.
That violates our security protocols.
To hell with that. He killed a Courser. There's no way he's working for the Institute.
We're letting you into our headquarters. You're the first outsider ever to be given this privilege. We'll discuss the details about your chip inside.
We having fun yet?
Courser chip is a very delicate operation. A million things can go wrong, the least of which is losing the data. Fortunately, we have the right man for the job.
Hey, Des. You need something?
Tom, our visitor here has a Courser chip.
Whoa! For real? Oh man, it's been ages!
Right. Some ground rules. Tom can get you the code, but once he's done, we get the Courser chip.
Fine. It's yours.
All right. Tom, make it happen.
All right, little Courser chip. Let's have the circuit analyzer take a crack at you. Show me that sweet bass now. There we got it! We got the code! Let me load that onto the holotape for ya.
Good work, Tom.
Yeah, but I'm not sure our luck will hold up next time, Des.
Start working on the rest of the chip. And you, I'd love to work with you more. Let me know if you're interested. But to be crystal clear, if you use that data and discover anything involving the Institute, you share it with us first. Otherwise, our relationship will be in jeopardy.
So I met with Desdemona and her railroad members. They thought of me as a hero because I killed a courser, and they know very well how difficult that can be. So they helped me. I can't say that I agree on what they're doing. I mean, why would they want to free synths? Aren't humans more important to save in this miserable place we live in? But again, who am I to judge? There was that crazy dude, Tinker Tom, who was able to crack the code of that Corsair chip. And after I got that information from him, I headed back to the glowing sea to see Virgil. He should have some answers for me by now.
Wasn't sure I'd see you again. You managed to get what you need?
I have the code.
Suppose I shouldn't be surprised. You did get rid of Kellogg after all. Not too much of a leap to take down a Corsair. How'd you manage to get it decoded?
The railroad helped me.
Oh God, those kooks. I would have expected they'd be too busy trying to liberate vending machines or setting computer terminals free or... Sorry, they just have something of a reputation. You're not the only one who's been busy. I did the best I could. From memory and things I've overheard through the years. Came up with some schematics for you. Wasn't easy. These hands are ridiculous. Fine motor skills have gone to shit. Here's the simple explanation. You need to build a device that will hijack the signal the Institute uses to teleport Corsairs, and send you instead. You know the craziest part of the design? That classical music station. That's the carrier signal for the relay. All the data's on harmonic frequencies. You've been hearing it all along. I want to be clear that this isn't my area of expertise. I was bioscience, not engineering or advanced systems or anything.
I'm sure it'll work.
For the record, I haven't made any promises. But if you can build this device and make use of that code, you should be able to override the signal from the Institute's relay. Can you? I mean, can you build it? You have people that can help. This is a lot for one person, even you.
I got it covered.
Good, good. Because you've got to make it in there, for both our sakes. And don't you forget our agreement. I've helped you as best I can. If you make it in there, you find that serum. It's my only hope for ever being normal. So you find it. Now go on. Take these and get to work. You do whatever it takes. Call on whoever you know to help you.
Well, Virgil did make those schematics that, I have to admit, I didn't understand a thing about. There were only two people I could think of to ask for help. I had Preston and Sturgis back in Sanctuary Hills who may be able to help. They owe me that much.
What do you need, General?
Can you take a look at these schematics? A scientist named Virgil said they could get me inside the Institute.
The Institute? Why in the world would you want to mess around with them?
They kidnapped my son.
Damn. That's some bad business. Even for them. We'll give you whatever help we can. Don't worry about that. Now, assuming you could build this thing, what exactly does it do?
The Institute uses teleportation to get in and out. This machine can hijack their signal and send me instead.
Teleportation? For real? Wow. That would explain a lot about how the Institute manages to operate. If anyone can make heads or tails of those plans, it'd be Sturgis. I haven't found anything yet that he couldn't build or fix. I'll let you know if I hear of any settlements that need our help. In the meantime, make sure to offer help to anyone that needs it. That can only help our cause.
Preston thought you might be able to figure out these plans for me.
Sure thing. Let's see what you've got.
Do you think you can build this?
Wow. What a mess.
Looks like, encrypted RF transmissions. Okay, so that gets routed through... What the hell? Teleportation. This is some pretty crazy shit. You sure it's for real?
It's real. I got it from an ex-Institute scientist.
Seriously? I didn't know you could be an ex-Institute anything and still be breathing. Anyway, the eggheads never think about the nuts and bolts of actually making something work. But, looks like it's all here. Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to study this thing. The handwriting's pretty hard to make out. But, you can get started on what he calls a stabilized reflector platform. It'll need some pretty high-grade metals, but it's basically not that different than the lining of a jet engine or something like that.
Can you give me a list of what I'll need to build this platform?
Yeah, sure. Here's a list of what you'll need for the first piece. I'm pretty sure we've got all that at Sanctuary, if you want to build it there. While you're working on that, I'll get busy figuring out how to actually build the rest of this thing. Keep in mind, I can already see this is gonna take a crazy amount of juice. Like if you had a spare nuclear reactor handy, we could probably use it. And it's going to be big. So find a nice open building site with lots of power available.
Well, it seems that building those machines is not going to be the easiest thing ever. But after all I've been through, I know that I will make it happen, especially with Sturge's help. I know I can make it. Sean is getting closer and closer. I will see you soon, my son. Well, that was all about today's episode. I hope you enjoyed today's events, and I hope you are more interested to learn what's going to happen next, because obviously next, the machine is going to be built, and we're going to get into that institute and find out answers and see Sean, see what happened, understand the whole thing, and make some difficult choices along the way as well. But until then, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope that you are even ready to go to the website, EnglishPlusPodcast.com. The link is in the description. It will take you to the custom post I created for this episode. There, as I told you earlier, you will see the video, you will get a chance to watch the video of this episode, and there is the comprehension check. Check your understanding of what happened in this episode. If nothing else, consider it just a listening practice for you, and go check your understanding of what happened in today's episode. And don't forget about the second link in the description. That will take you to my Patreon page. Go to Patreon, support me, support the learning community. Help us be on the safe side. Let's reach 50 patrons before the year ends, so that we know we're on the safe side, and then we can aim at higher and higher goals to become a fully independent learning community. With that being said, I would like to thank you very much for listening to another episode from English Plus Podcast. This is your host, Danny. I will see you next time.